Carry on to the Sumner Community Residents Association. Brian, now I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, I'm sure. Is it Kashula? Is that close?
We do have a... Afternoon, Mayor and councillors. I'm Brian Kashula, Chair of the Sumner Residents Association, and I'd like to say that according to the Sumner Master Plan, Sumner can expect over 500,000 visitors per annum when the coastal pathway is to be completed. And further visitors can be expected when the Sumner-Littleton Road is reopened. This adds to the numbers. As you will hear from Kath Cross here, from the business group, and Peter Hansen from the Residents Association, Sumner is inadequately prepared for this big influx of people. We therefore recommend that the council set up another Sumner Council joint venture team, which has been very successful up to now, to ensure that these issues are addressed in the context of the master plan, as well as ensuring that there is adequate funding provided. Over to Kathy.
Good afternoon, Mayor and councillors. The points I'd like to raise today are views shared by not only those in the business community, but it seems to be. I was quick to put my hand up to speak today as I feel pretty strongly about the future of Sumner and the viability of the businesses trading there at the moment and the long-term outlook as we make our way down what seems to be quite a long road to recovery. Sumner is one of the top attractions for visitors to our city and one of the most preferred places for residents of Christchurch to visit. Recent research conducted by the Opinions Market Research Limited looked at Christchurch residents' interest in visiting Sumner Bay's area and also identified the sorts of activities that interested them when they came out to see us. The research found that 80% of Christchurch residents rate Sumner the most preferable destination in the city, attracted by activities like walking along the beachfront, water sports, cafe life, and the likes. Nearly 60% of Christchurch residents claim to have visited Sumner in the last 6 months, and more were interested once the roadworks were complete. So, when the roadworks are completed and the coastal pathway is flowing and tourist numbers are up, we need to be prepared. Which leads me to my following points. Do I click that?
The right one.
Maybe you could do that for me.
The right.
That'd be great if you could just scroll. Thank you.
Yep.
Infrastructure. The Central Village footpath and streetscape improvements in the Sumner Master Plan look fantastic. The connections from the Esplanade will surely improve the beach village integration. I do hope there is good provision and support for the upgrades to the Esplanade and the beachside infrastructure. There are many issues around access, paving, seating and amenities, much the same as within the Central Village area.
Just so I can locate myself, is that the picture theatre down the bottom?
That's...
Yep.
Oh,
yes.
You've got that one?
Bottom in the middle.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
down
Hollywood.
there, that's
Yep.
the... Yep.
So you're
Beach
coming
on the
from town.
left.
So the beach is on the left,
Yeah.
and that's the... Yeah, I know exactly where we are now. Yep.
We're on Richmond Hill.
Yep. Yes, you're looking down from Richmond Hill.
That's it. My second point is facilities within the village. The Central Village needs some form of community green space or central area that could provide our much needed central toilet block, which we currently don't have. The likes of rubbish and recycling bins, perhaps a drinking fountain, but information boards for our visitors would be amazing. relaxing central green space for picnicking, and perhaps even the continuation of our Sunday markets once the community centre's up and running. I believe the site at 20 to 24 Nayland Street could replace the village green that we've all come to love and need for community engagement. My third point is tourist information. We are a tourist destination, but we certainly let our visitors down with little information upon their arrival. We would like to work with the council in providing permanent signage in the central village, the likes of map boards, which could include the many walkways, cycle tracks, beach access, historical sites, of which there's many, and a business directory.
It's Taupo, isn't it? The picture that you've got there. Taupo?
What's that, sorry?
Taupo. And that's the picture you've got there is Taupo, isn't it?
Actually not sure which one.
Yeah,
the bottom left, perhaps?
Yeah, the top one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm just
examples of
it's an example, yeah, but
the sort of thing that could work, that could be a permanent structure.
Yeah.
So as a business group, we are able and willing and really keen to be involved in this kind of process. We have developed the branding already, which is currently working, but we just need you as our number one business partner and stakeholder to work with us at this very important time in our recovery. So my question to you is, if we are one of the city's top destinations, shouldn't we be leaving a lasting impression? Shouldn't we be impressively hosting the visitors to our city? Sumner Bay area is an asset, but just needs a little bit more investment, and it needs your backing in this long-term plan. At the moment, things are pretty shabby, but we know that we're not alone in the city. But we also know that recovery is hastening, and we do want to be prepared for when that happens. It would be really great if we could be one of the jewels in the crown of this city and bolster the local and the greater economy as we return to what will be our new normal. Thank you. Over to Peter.
Mayor and councillors, my name is Peter Hansen. Sumner is beginning to buzz again after the big downturn in visitors after the quakes in February 2011. And with its beaches, hills, its tracks and cafes, Sumner's a top destination in Christchurch. And not just for city residents, but visitors from elsewhere in New Zealand and overseas. And it's a place where people can chill out and people can really feel revitalised. It's already feeling pressure on its existing facilities and infrastructure, some of which are quite run down and inadequate to meet visitor demands. And for instance, parking in the village and seafronts already at a premium, especially at weekends and holidays. Sorry. And so we hope that the planned off-street parking on Nayland Street near the new Sumner Community Centre Library Museum will happen, and that the village green can move to 2024 Nayland Street, which is opposite, which is currently red zone land. You'll all know the popular sandy beach down at Cave Rock, but you may not be aware that the main beach, Sumner Bay, between Cave Rock and Scarborough Hill, has had a huge increase in usage in recent times. It's a very safe swimming beach, but it's also fantastic for surfing. And families and groups, they picnic and they play there, and many people walk and run, cycle, skateboard on the promenade that runs right along the beach there. And it's a really highly valued visitor experience. But, you know, local people, we've noticed the need for facilities along the beachfront that do meet visitor demands. Not necessarily we need them locally, but really for the visitors coming in there. At the Scarborough end of the beach, there are plenty of toilets, and now there's a fantastic, fabulous new children's paddling pool, and we thank you very much for that happening. And there are lots of visitors to the pool, but there are no changing rooms actually for those either using the pool or the sea. And then going down to Mariner Street, which is near the village, near the proposed skate park. It's a highly used area with its busy surf school business there. And there's a limited number of toilets. There are no changing rooms for the mini surfers or swimmers there. Lots of surfers up and down the beach front esplanade, they change by their vehicles. You see a lot of bare bums flashed there, which doesn't bother us, most of us, but we do know that people would appreciate more toilets and changing facilities there, as well as more freshwater showers for swimmers and surfers, some bike stands, some doggy-doo bins, even some fitness stations. Pest control, there's been quite a big increase of rats on the foreshore there. It's a real problem. So we'd really ask you to address this, and also that you would retain money for pest control in your budget. The maintenance of roads and footpaths in the village and beachfronts is paramount, and these are in various states of unrepair, because people visit Sumner for a great experience, and we don't want a repeat of an incident a year ago that reflected badly on us all. There was a coachload of elderly people from the North Island were touring the south. They visited Sumner's waterfront. This elderly lady, and she gave us permission to use her photo, she tripped over a damaged, unrepaired pavement, which is down by the Mariner Street area I've been talking about. She smashed the glasses, she cut her face, she went to the toilets to clean up, but they were unusable because of vomit and urine. And these pictures have actually been shown to this council about a year ago, and also to our community board, and we have phoned council staff. So people have been made aware of this incident, and yet 1 year later, nothing has been done to repair this bit of pavement. I had a look at it 2 days ago. At the very least, why not a patch-up of asphalt, which would be really cheap, something that could be done. Sumner is a positive, proactive community. It's thankful for council repairs to broken wastewater systems and flood mitigation, and the new bridge and the nice sealed road that we're getting there, which is going to bring lots more people. And appreciation too for the planned new community facilities, the library and theatre and museum. The joint working group that was set up, it's been a resounding success. Paul was on it as well. And we had very vigorous discussion, but it was a genuine collaboration between council and community, and there was a final design that wouldn't have happened otherwise. So we thank you for being allowed to be part of that process.
The new
After the February 11 quakes, the Sumner community initiated its own urban design consultation. The fruit of this is the Sumner Village Master Plan, which you can see on there, which is here, and our chairman referred to it at the beginning. And it clearly shows Sumner residents and the business groups wish to have a better integrated link between the Sumner Village Centre and the beaches. And some of the things detailed in that plan are what we're talking about today. However, as a community, we feel concerned that nothing appears to be happening with this council-approved plan. Sumner has had master plans galore before that have been quietly shelved and forgotten. And so we ask you today that Council ensure that the Sumner Village Master Plan is acted upon. And finally, we ask that Council set aside money in its budget to ensure that Sumner Village and beachfront infrastructure and facilities meet the expectations of visitors and tourists. And secondly, we ask that Council consult and partner with the Sumner community on these local projects, as our chairman was saying. And a structure like the joint working group for the community facilities rebuild would be really ideal. And we'd also be open to something like Jim Deers in Seattle with his neighbourhood matching fund, something like that as well. We're very open to doing a partnership, not expecting Council to do everything, but there are local projects that we could be involved in. So thank you.
Thank you. That's a good timing there. That's the we'll come to the end of the presentation, but ending on that note is just music to my ears. I'm afraid I love that neighbourhood matching fund, and it's probably part of the driver that's behind the review of our community grants scheme is to get to the point where we can resource communities with the support of the communities to do a lot more together. Yeah. So, yeah.
So thank you. Something like the changing sheds could be something that the local community could be very involved with.
That's
something really
exactly
simple,
the sort
cheap,
of thing. And well, you just, I don't know if you heard the previous.
Sorry, Vicky? Yes. It's the one down by the Marin Street toilets, which is Marin Street runs from opposite the Hollywood Cinema down to the beach, and there are toilets there. And yeah,
Thank you. We've just got a new app that we're trialling at the moment called Snap Send Solve. So I've taken a picture of it, but I haven't downloaded the app yet. So it's gonna be. Yeah, that's right. And I'm sure she's actually written it down, so that's even a step further. But I mean, yeah, I don't remember seeing the photograph before, but I suspect I might have blocked it. So, but anyway,
Marnie Kent, our community advisor, showed it.
Yeah, no, thanks very much. I'm sorry, but that's the end of the presentation. So, thank you very much, and we'll move on to